Okay, can you hear me? Yes, good. We're going to contemplate a verse right now. Whatever can be perceived cannot be perceiving. Next week, we will repeat the verse. Whatever can be perceived cannot be perceiving. Contemplate second verse. You cannot use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. You cannot use big M mind to seek mind. You cannot use light to seek light. Why is that? It's for me to know and you to find out. A verse presented in many modalities, the seeker and the sought. The verse translated into non-duality, the seeker is the sought. There you go. Yeah. No two trying to get to one. There's no one in the two. There you go. So this talk is premised on the idea that we are what we're looking for, with the hopes that what we are will hear that, and the warning that there will be a claiming, and what you're not will be seen as the hearer of that. Yes? So you see the reflection of the old lion. It's just like the young lion. You get your lion. But what's necessary is to know what happens after you leave the pond and its reflection and the company of the old lion. The programming is going to kick in and claim as a sheep that it just had a profound experience of being a lion. Yeah, the being a lion was only for a second. The being a sheep will be for years. So, which will be dominant? Yeah. So, my experience with this is non-duality comes with an incredibly beautiful statement and then with a bunch of warnings. Yeah. So the statement is being ourselves reality, and let's give the warnings. Yeah. Why? Because the mental state is going to arise, and there is the event of hearing the message, but the event will be claimed and you will be the hearer of the message. And what we're attempting to target is you're not the hearer of the message. Yeah. I have nothing against it. You know, I don't want to see it vanquished or destroyed because it doesn't exist. I just want to see, I don't really care actually, but hopefully there'll be a loss of interest in it. And in that loss of interest, things that you so wish to have clear or become clear will be clear. Yeah. Seriously, that's what happens. You lose interest in being clear, and then there's clarity. Yeah. I don't know why it works that way, but it does here, seemingly. So, yeah, if anyone has any questions about it, I'll try my best. I can only speak from how I'm seeing it now, and if we affirm what we are as what we're not, it's truly an affirmation of what we're not and a denial of what we are. Yeah, we don't see it, but that's actually what happens. So we never really speak about, we're the ultimate void, or, the brilliant, spacious light. We look at what we're not, because why would you want to ruin the finding out of what you are by having to go through a forest of concepts that were grown there innocently, but still will hinder or obstruct something? So let's just be clear about what we're not, and then go ahead and find out what it's like not to be that. Yeah. Yeah. And in a weird way, the idea of the mind itself, I like this one understanding that the essence of mind is empty, the nature of mind, big M, is reflective, and the manifestation of mind is energy. Yeah. So this is the dreaming. This is the manifestation of mind. And in our sense here, we have a reflective nature. So there's a contact, and then there's a reflection in and of that contact. And let's say the mirror is fixated on the appearance in it. Yeah. So it's taken itself to be the appearance, and now everything that's happening is reflecting on the idea that we're the appearance, while all the while we're the mirror. Yeah. Now, no matter how many appearances are in the mirror, it doesn't take away the mirror. Yeah. There can be 20 appearances. It's still a mirror. Yeah. Because it holds appearances, but the appearances don't add weight or take up space of the mirror, right? They're reflective on the surface. This is what it's like, in a way. You finally see the appearance, or you see the appearance, and there's a recognition you're not that. Yeah. And then suddenly there's a loss of interest in the appearance and a gaining of interest as the mirror. Yeah. Where you can't gain interest as the mirror in the identification as the appearance. It would just be more reinforcement of the appearance. Yeah. But now you see you're not the appearance, and then whammo, you're sensing that nature, that empty, clear, spacious, whatever, that is like a surface that's reflecting this dreaming. Yes? Yeah. So the appearance would be the dreamt object, this body. That which is seeing the appearance is not the body. Yeah. That is what we are. We are the seeing of the body as an appearance, really. Yes? The body sees the body as a body. Yeah? What we are sees the body as an appearance. Yes? As Ramana said, the body is an appearance in mind, big M mind. So mind is dreaming, and one of the appearances of the dreaming in the mind are bodies. Yeah? Now, these bodies are non-existent things, in a way. What gets confused is the mental state weds the subjectivity, which would be that which is seeing the appearances, with the objectivity, which is an appearance. Yeah? So now we believe the body is what's conscious. Or when seeing is happening, we believe we are the doer of that, and the doer of that is represented as a body. Yeah? So the obvious demonstration or presentation of what we are gets sort of clouded by the claiming that it's the body. Yeah. Yeah. So when there's a sense of being the doer, it's held as a body. Whereas when there's a sense of being the thinker, it's held as a body. When there's a sense of being the hearer, it's held as a body. Yes? So the hearing, thinking, and feeling is going on. There's no argument with that. The argument starts and ends at this idea of being the hearer, the feeler, the thinker. Yes? because the thoughts, feelings, everything, what we see is given meaning. And that meaning seems to be able to affect us as the dreamt, yes? So I've noticed a huge difference between seeing and my seeing. I noticed a huge difference between thinking and my thinking. I've noticed a huge difference of weight, feeling my feelings. I've noticed a huge difference in actions, my actions. Yeah. I can't quantify, but it's felt. Yeah. It's sensed that there's a large bit of meaning and emphasis being given to what is being seen from the idea of being the seer of it. Yeah. Now, I may not be able to change or avoid what I'm seeing, but I can see that, the weight of the seer. I can see that because I'm before it. Yeah. I'm before the manufacturing of the seer. I am that which is engaged as seeing. Yeah. The idea of seer comes after that. Yeah. The idea of seer is a process of time when we are not of time. We are before anything began and we're before anything that ends. Yes. So we collectively as that can see what we're not. Yeah. And what we're not is the seer, the hearer, the feeler, the taster, the toucher. As an activity, we're seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, thinking, doing. Yeah. Yeah. But that's as far as it goes. Everything is verbing. There is no actor, there's activity. There's no doer, there's a lot of doing. As supposedly Lord Buddha said, events happen, deeds are done, but there's no individual doer thereof. What's being implied there? Yeah. A lot of stuff's happening, but it's not happening to anyone. Yeah. Or a lot of stuff's happening and it's not happening by anyone. Yeah. This isn't something you study, you find out. Yeah, you hear the imitations of non-duality and you find out a lot of stuff because it's rooted in a clear understanding which allows you to finally see the unclear misunderstandings. Yeah. And when you see through them, you don't have to see through every tree. You see through enough trees and then you can see the forest through the trees. You can see the space through the trees. That which used to seem to reinforce the idea of what you're not's not doing much at all anymore. It's just activity, just happening. Yes? Its old agenda and its old meaning was to be a pointer to the imaginary one, the doer, the feeler. Now it's still pointing, but it doesn't even have much oomph in it anymore. It's just pointing like mechanically. You know what I mean? Your attention isn't going anymore. Your attention sees this. It doesn't get led by this. It sees the pointing. It doesn't get led by the pointing. Yeah? Yeah. It's your being led by the pointing that the pointed out becomes seemingly so. When you're not led by the pointing, it's just naked pointing. There's nothing there. Yeah? You're here. There's nothing there. When you're seemingly not here, there's a whole lot there. But when you're here, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. You are what you're looking for. Yeah. So there's some basic understanding. The mental activity that I give the name selfing to is pretty damn fast. It happens very quickly. Usually to the point that you don't notice it, that you start from it. So it's almost as if You are the starting line, and then it moves you and makes up a fake starting line. And so you start as the seer while there was a whole lot of seeing going on that we're sort of not on top of. And now, all right, the seer gets christened, and then the story is all about the seer. And every seeing is used to reinforce the seer, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, doing, not doing. Yeah. So it's very quick. It's mechanical. There's no choice or volition. There isn't a supreme Beverly before it doing it. It's not happening. Beverly has fucking nothing to do with it. Beverly is an assumption that it produces. It's not the producer of the assumption. It's an assumption that it produces. Yes? You are not the producer of the assumption. Yeah. So it's mechanical. Basically, whatever you bring it into contact with, it's going to claim. And it's going to use it to reinforce the story of two. Yeah? Which, what happens, non-duality is a negation of that story of two. That's what it is. Non, not two. Yeah? So the story of two is that which is perceived is what's perceiving. That's the story of two. That's not true. Yeah? So Huang Bo says that which can be perceived is not what's perceiving. I mean, pretty clear. Yeah, it's not a huge debate. It's just, okay, here's the mental statement. That which is perceived is what's perceiving. The debate is over. Huang Bo goes, what can be perceived cannot be perceiving. There you go. Yeah. Drops the mic, walks off the stage. Find out what's true for you. You can hear it in the head. Listen for 5 minutes. The assumption is always underneath there that the perceived, the body is what's the seer. It's the seeing. Yeah. When you say I'm conscious, you're not talking about an amorphous non-entity, no locale, no geographical. You talk as if that's the body. That's how the head works. The head, when it says I'm conscious, it pictures you, Paul, the body, as what's conscious. Is it true or not? If it isn't true, why skip to page 84? Just negate the author. Go to the author page and negate it, and you'll travel later through the story of Paul. You will. As long as he's the author, there's going to be more chapters, drawn out, obsessive, describing shit that doesn't need to be described. I felt like this for 30 pages, Yeah, just shit. It all hinges on a change in movement. There's a loss of interest in this idea of self. We talk about it in recovery. A whole lot of stuff happens, but it always pivots from this premise. There's a loss of interest in self. Yeah. Now, self cannot lose interest in self. If it tries, that's interest in self. You understand that, yes? It's very simple, but it's a stubborn mistake that doesn't go noticed. If this imaginary idea of Paul tries to go on a 2-year retreat to lose interest in Paul, that's a reinforcement in Paul. It's not a depletion of interest in Paul. It's a whole lot of more interest in Paul. What? Yeah, that's a dilemma. You didn't do it. I don't do it. That's how the head works. Yeah. The head works with, all right, I'm going to set out of a course and to lose interest in myself, which is complete interest in myself. Yeah. You got to tell the truth sooner or later. Yeah. How are you going to explain all those bites on your ass? What the hell happened? So, yeah. So claiming is its move. As Einstein said, you can't use what produced a problem to get out of the problem. That's clear, yes? So in recovery, we have diagnosed where the problem resides. It's in the relative mind, the mental activity. Yes? Okay. So the mental activity is producing a narrative which you could just broadly call self-centeredness. So the whole system centers on this idea of self. What is that idea? A long-lasting, independent, separate thing, yes? Apart from other long-lasting, independent, separate things, that has a lot of choice and volition and a lot of power that it doesn't seem to have. So if you don't see it as something that's manufactured, you're going to look from it the rest of your life. Yeah. And it's going to explain away everything. Especially, it's going to be so obsessed with its presence, you'll never realize its nature is empty or absent. Yeah. It doesn't exist. It says it does. It says it did and it will, therefore now it is. But that's not true, is it? Does this make sense? I was Paul, I will be Paul, therefore I am Paul. That's a strange way to get there. Yeah. Whatever happened to I am that I am? That doesn't sound like that. It sounds like I am that I was and that I will be. That's a whole other. That's not the second edition of I am that. That's the second edition. I am not that. I was, I will be, therefore I am. So I feel satsang has a lot of juice. I hope you enjoy it. Show up, see what happens. Yeah, more will be revealed. You don't have to lift heavy weights. Spirituality isn't like a fucking decathlon or a marathon. It's a fact. Yeah, it's a present tense condition. If it wasn't, nothing would be noticed. It would be. So, yeah. So, yes. Anyone have any questions or shares or whatever? I'd rather hear a lot of donations, maybe. So, start with the the new sign, the dollar sign. No. Anybody have anything you want to say? You like the chimes? Nice, eh? Hey, they just got louder when I said that. That's good. I got a little button here. Up the chimes. You know, nothing can be accompanied by a lot of stuff. Light shows, chimes, yeah. All right, well, I guess we'll end, honey, today, eh? You'll have to make more announcements. Fill up the... I announced that there'll be no more announcements at the 5:30 to 6:30. What is it? 4:30.
Stuart has his hand up. Thank you, Stuart.
Oh, Stuart.
Yeah, g'day, Paul.
You can always rely on an Aussie to...
Yeah, I feel like I'm sacrificing myself here. I'd rather just be quiet.
That's good.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the body in the sense of I have hay fever, hay fever, and you can't breathe at night, doesn't sleep well, shit like that. it's almost feeling like it's a memory. It's just a memory. It's for me. It's a memory that just repeats every different season and stuff, and yeah. So it sort of feel like I'm seeing it from a long way away, but it's just a memory. It props up, in a sense.
Yes.
It's just as you say, it's mechanical. It is, and but I think the good thing for me is just seeing that as and it feels like it's just a memory. I can see it from a long way away. It's just a memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that has a lot of value in my book.
Yeah. Me too. And just for it's just a conversation thing, I suppose. But I remember reading a book called The Mind of the Cells by the mother, and it was about how she was trying to get into her cellular structure to change it, and it just seemed like a whole very hard thing to be contemplating and a long way to go. And I don't know if she ever made that decision, but that's where it feels like the cellular structure is just memories, It's yeah. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't go alone into the cellular structure.
No. It's too hard. It's easier traveling lighter. It's easier, and it's quicker, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I've had just so many instances that things that used to do my head in are just not there anymore. They're there, but I'm not them.
Yes.
There's no hook there.
Yes, that's great. That's traveling lighter.
Yeah, well, that's you're a blessing from you in a sense, because you're the one that I could see that, whereas I didn't really see that before, even through lots of Course in Miracles and stuff like that. I just didn't see it properly.
Yeah, that's what, let's say we're just here sharing, eyeglasses, really.
Yeah.
We're offering, hey, try this on and then see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, the glasses are completely reliant on the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't pass that away, but we can pass along some glasses. Yeah. That will hopefully emphasize the eyes. Yes. Yeah. And then like Zen, they would always say, you'll see blue as blue and red as red. Things will be clear.
Yes.
There won't, and then the dreaded ordinariness. Yes. Looming all around.
There's a lot of beauty in the ordinariness. That's for sure. I feel there is.
Yeah. I'm serious. Most of this life, I've been trying to get out of here. Literally.
Yeah, me too.
And it has become just completely clear. You can't transcend an imaginary place. It's just, so basically I've been rooted where I am for years now. Not because you can't get out of an imaginary place, like the old statement, the wisdom of no escape has fell upon me. Needing no escape from like a maximum prism, no escape because there's nothing to escape from. That's how I, So the wisdom of no escape is there's nothing to escape from.
Yeah.
So you don't try to perform any escapes. Yes.
I should have got that after hearing that statement, that Zen Buddhist thing. What is it? Before enlightenment, carry water. After enlightenment, carry water. That gave you the answer there. It's like there's nothing changed.
I know, but the spirituality has a lot of bling in it also, you know,
Yeah.
shiny
Yeah.
things that people sign up to arrive at.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't realize one of the first awakenings is a rude one.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And, but then hopefully your head is in the tiger's mouth by then, so it's too late now.
Yeah. I think I must have just slipped into it, I think, without any awareness until I was in there, I think.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's the best. Yeah. Because if you knew that you were going to get nothing, you probably wouldn't sign up for it. Yeah. Seriously.
But it's almost like you get nothing, but you get everything, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
dichotomy.
But really, in the head's point of view, it got nothing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't, it begrudgingly may say it's everything, but it's really, it was looking for a special something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't get that, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was expecting parades.
Yeah.
It was
As you say,
expecting
like,
parades.
pardon?
Parades. It was expecting parades.
Yeah.
Paul,
Yeah.
the great one, has arrived.
Yeah, yeah, but it's funny because it's like, as you say, like, you know, it's easy for me to be worried about finding a good cup of coffee. You know, that's a lot easier than finding freaking enlightenment or something. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, where you're starting from is the reason why there's a need for enlightenment. So you're going to still start from there in your pursuit of enlightenment. Every
Yeah.
step of the way, you'll be the obstruction to the enlightenment.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What are you going to do? There needs to be a sufficient loss of interest, really.
Yes.
And we can't produce that. We can observe it.
Mm.
When we hear things and things occur, it leads to a loss of interest in it. We can observe that, but we can't engineer it. It doesn't work.
No. It's it's a good giving up. That's for sure. For me.
Yeah, and I found really a lot of the heavy lifting was holding the shit up. I mean, yeah. When through satsang, I didn't do much really.
Yeah.
I just heard, and then things became clear.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm here. Really, if I felt something really happen by me super hyperventilating, we'd be having classes on that.
Yeah.
But really, I didn't do shit. And therefore, that's why we come here and we don't do anything.
I love it, Paul. It's such a blessing for me. It's great, you know, no pressure and anything. So, but I'll go back to my box now and observe, you know. Thank you, Paul.
All right. Thank you, Stuart. Nice to see you. Yeah.
You too.
We're all kindred spirits. Yeah.
Great. Yes. Yeah.
Where's my lovely signer? No hands, hey, honey? All right, let me try to do something from the Course, if I can remember, all right? I may paraphrase a little. But it says, you and I don't like the word dream, because it sounds like a place, doesn't it, or a thing. But you and I are the dreaming of the dream. We forget that. Yeah. That was interesting to me. What's the vehicle of forgetting that we're the dreaming of the dream? Obviously, the identification as the dreamt. Yeah. That would be sufficient enough for you to seemingly, it would appear to you that you forgot that you're the dreaming. Yeah. By remembering you're the dreamt, let's say. So it says, all right, so this suddenly a condition changes. You and I are the dreaming of the dream. We forget that. Now there's a whole new condition that gets set up with the forgetting. Yeah. And now suddenly everything we're dreaming now has the ability to affect us. As the dreamt, not as the dreaming, yes? It affects us as the dreamt, but we're now identified as the dreamt. So it affects us in such a seemingly real way, yeah, because we're actually the dreaming, but we're giving everything that we're giving meaning to now to have the ability to give us a meaning. It's sort of like the idea, you own the thoughts, thoughts own you, yes? It's a tricky thing. So you and I are the dreaming of the dream. We forget that we're dreaming. And based on that condition, now everything we're dreaming is now given the ability to affect us. Yeah. Yeah. So suddenly we're in a real seeming event. Yes. Not because the event is real, but what's dreaming it is real. Yeah. And now the dreaming it has taken the dreamt to be real. And suddenly a lot of shit has seemingly real effects. Yes. But as it says in the Course, it's projection first, then perception. So the dreaming is projection. One of the projections is the perceived or the dreamt, and now that is perceiving the rest of the dreaming as real. Yeah? So now that which I gave meaning to is now giving me meaning. Yeah? I don't see that I was the dreaming. I see it as this is fucking imposing something on me as the dreamt. But all the while, it's us dreaming. Yeah? We lose track, and now it's seemingly coming from somewhere else, a real world and with real people and with real things happening. And now, when we get affected, we have a huge story that reinforces this part, yeah, that this is a real place that I'm perceiving and it's having an effect on me. We don't see the whole tale of it, that we're the dreaming of it, yes? The relief is in seeing we're the dreaming of it. There's not much relief in the dreamt, yeah? You better have skillful means to limit the harm, so to speak. This idea, when the dreamt tries to chant that it's not the dreamt, it doesn't go anywhere, I don't feel, yes? There's a seeing that I'm not the dreamt from the dreaming. There's not this, I'm not the dreamt doesn't see it's not the dreamt. It just, it's above its pay scale, really. It just doesn't go there. But what we are, can see that, yeah? So from what we are, there's a projection, and then from what we're not, there's a perceiving of the projection. The perceiving sees the projection real. From the dreaming, the projection is seen as unreal, yes? What's going to allow you to travel lighter through the dreaming? Seeing it from the dreaming or seeing it from the dreamt? What's the greatest wish? That which finds itself in the dreamt is being able to travel lighter through this whole life. That does not come from the dreamt. It comes from the dreaming. Yeah? It's expressed through the dreamt, and the dreamt can even observe it, and hopefully with great humility recognizes something the dreaming is doing for it what it could never do for itself. Yes?
Hey, Paul, Angie has her hand up.
I don't see Angie's hand up. Oh, she's got her hand up in her square. That's a nice maneuver, Angie. There you go.
Hi, Paul. Actually, you could have kept going on and on about this streaming, because that's exactly what it reminded me of what I heard recently, and how attached we are to this world of forms, whatever that may be. So from this reality.
Let me just say something, Angie. We are not that which is attached to form.
Yeah. But whatever attaches that awareness, it's easy to see, even for us, our action figure, from our action figure perspective, because we have dreams and we get all wrapped up in the action in the dream, and we wake up all sweaty, and we really believe in that reality, in that dream
I
while we're
don't believe that, honey. I don't believe that. You're not talking for me there.
no.
No, I don't wake up in a sweat, shit like that, unless
Well,
I'm in the tropics or something.
but I mean, not you, but maybe for a lot of us, that's the case when you have a complex dream and you really believe yourself to be in that dream. Then you really identify with your dream and that kind of reality. And same is, for instance, with those virtual reality sets. Once you put those that equipment on, like that kind of world becomes very real for that person, and then they see themselves moving and interacting with those characters. So what I'm saying is, it's very easy for that which we are really to identify with this world of forms. So maybe that is why what is happening.
See, I don't see it as that. I see the head says we're identified with forms. I do not believe we are identified with form. I don't.
Yeah, so maybe from the perspective of a small m mind, we identify with that from the perspective of the action figure. But
Well, the head does. The head says things, and it implies it's already so before it gets into this to the stuff. I don't believe it's already so. What it says is I as what I am identified with something. I don't see that. I just see there's an identification as something. I don't see that we're doing it. Yeah, I don't. I think that's one of the problems. The language keeps implying that we're the doer when we may have a clear understanding that we're not. It just keeps putting the two together, all right? How can there be an identification unless there's someone identified? Well, easily. Yeah. The head can say tons of shit. The head can say, you got a tattoo in 1988. And if you don't look at the shirt, and I mean, if you don't take the shirt off, you may live that whole day thinking you have a tattoo from 1988. You don't. Yeah. But you'll act as if, the head will act as if you do. But you can see that. Yeah. You're not that you. Yeah.
And in a way, we are taught this from a very young age to assume a lot of things,
Well, the head does, yes. The head is, that's the whole point, is the presupposing or the assuming the non-existent thing is existing. And then from there, your practices themselves that you think are going to bring you somewhere are actually reinforcing that non-existent thing as being the existent thing. How can they destroy it? Yeah. All that is it's like a magic trick in time. Yeah. The head doesn't say you're going to become a self. It says you already are one. Doesn't it? That's the presupposing. The presupposing is, all right, you're going to watch this process. You as existence is going to turn into this non-existent thing. No, it says it. So it states something already that's not so. Yes.
Yeah. And the direct experience is ignored. Like we are taught to ignore the direct experience and just go with whatever truth we're being taught.
But that's in the world. See, the thing is, there's a religion in this world. It's capitalism in a way. Yeah. I have no opinion one way or the other, but the God is of profit. And so if they can't commodify this moment, they'll stay busy commodifying future and past moments. Yeah. So we live where we have a deadline and a target all the time. You know, I'm targeting enlightenment or something after 4 years. Yes, it's just insane. Yeah. So of course, yes, there's a drift in this event, and that drift goes into condensation or contraction. Yeah. It's like entropy. What? Yet, then your feeling is, I'd rather be expansive. But before that movement of duality is that, yeah, I would say we're of that. Yeah, I'm not talking about a person or a contraction that's given a name as a person, that who wishes to expand given a name as a person. I think there's contracting and expanding. I don't think there's anyone before it. I don't. Yeah, that's not what has been intimated where I'm sitting. I believe everything is verbing and there's no noun, none. The noun is placed in a significant position and then is presupposed or assumed to be that position as the story unfolds in the narrative. Completely, yeah? It does, it's just assumed, yeah, that I'm the doer. It's assumed that I was here and I'm gonna be here. All of this, yeah? Under that shady activity, tons of other shit can seem to be true. Yeah? Yeah. So, but you know, man, you can sit me down and call me a noun, prove that I'm a noun. I'm telling me I'm gonna be a noun. I was a noun. I just don't feel it. I don't. Yeah. So I remember a friend of mine, I used to travel with her a little bit. We hadn't seen each other in years, and she flew in and she was going to be in the city and she wanted to see me. So I decided to drive in there. Now she had gone through a lot of schooling and was a psychologist, a psychiatrist, very advanced. And she knew what I supposedly did. So she wanted to have a conversation. See, but hers, where she started was the assumption that this is a real place with real people in a separate thing, evolution, all this, and I don't have that assumption. So I decided, I said, let's just have a cup of coffee and talk about something else, because, you know, what you're assuming as the basis and then going off on the topic thing, I don't assume as the basis. So we're not going to go anywhere. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel the underlying assumption of these meanings is being ourselves reality. Yeah. That we are the sought, seemingly as the seeker, but we're not the seeker. Yes. As the sought. Yeah. So what's looking is what you're looking for. I'm assuming that's the assumption we're living under today, right now, for this hour, so that we can wear glasses from that and look at the other assumptions. Yes? I don't want to look at that from the other assumptions. I don't. I want to see the other assumptions from that. Yeah? At least for this hour. When I go somewhere and order something at a store, yeah, I'm going to, yes, I'll have that. I don't want that. Can you throw some salt and pepper? Yes. Yeah. That's what, yeah. But here, the assumptions that we assume to be so aren't assumed to be so here. Yeah. What we're assuming to be so is being ourselves reality, which is an incredible, complete mystery. I have no idea what that means or entails, but surely know it doesn't mean a lot of what the head is meaning. Yes, when it's talking about me. Let's put it that way. Yes? That I'm clear about. And the seeker is the sought. What's looking is what I'm looking for. That's the assumption that we're talking from. Yeah. It's a great mystery, but we can find a lot of clarity by looking at what we're not. Yeah. Let's look at all those assumptions from this assumption. Yeah. Yeah. Instead of trying to make sense of this assumption and those assumptions. Yeah. I don't think it translates. I'm not a believer in having a weekend of we're going to integrate our awakening into everyday life. I don't see that at all. Yeah. I just don't see who the hell's going to do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Nice to see you, Angie.
Thank you.
Hey, Paul, Ashley has her hand up.
Yes. Ashley, wherever you are. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay. I keep thinking this is awesome, everything you've said. I'm kind of hooked on something that you said to Stuart, I think it was. You said, don't go in there alone. When I think he was talking about, what were you, I think he was referring to like diving into his cellular structure or something to heal something.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
said, like,
I
don't
was
go in
sort
there
of
alone.
joking about that.
That was
I
a
sort of
joke.
joking about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't, I don't, where would I start going into my cellular structures? I just don't, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know, but it means what it meant to you, but I'm just sharing. I was just a joke there. Like we had a thing the other day with a group of people, and there was a little thing they do in therapy, and they were asking, what superpower would you have if you could have one? And I said, I don't want a superpower. Because I don't have the wisdom to wield it correctly. So I'm sure it's going to produce a lot of unintended consequences. So leave me dumb and content. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's why I was just joking. Don't go there alone. Yeah. Yeah. But hey, anything can happen here. This is dreaming, yes? So in dreaming, anything basically can happen because nothing ever really happened. So anything can happen. So there may be people that can do cellular structure surgery. I have no idea.
Hey, Paul,
Yeah.
Beverly has her hand up. Well, she did. She wants to speak.
All right, Beverly, come on. How are you? Cellularly, how are you today? How's your cellular structure?
Good.
All right, good.
I said I'm cellularly good.
Oh, good.
So I just listening to the part that you were talking about losing interest. Something that had been happening for me, that had been coming up for me quite a bit. Like the past year, there was this thing where I felt like where there was this loss of interest and guilt that was happening. And I kind of found that miraculous because I had, something had happened, and you know how you go over something in your mind, and you're like, well, I should have said this, I should have done that, or should have went this way. And I really was just like drawing a blank, like I couldn't even go there. And I was really impacted by that. And then recently I had sort of this falling away of this loss of interest in worrying about my daughter, who, she's 16, has had medical issues since she's been 9, and being almost obsessed with her well-being, and just the worrying and the thinking about her. And that recently has fallen away, which are just like, wow, like that. Not that I don't do everything in my power, of course, to do what I can to help her, but that incessant,
Yeah.
off and on depressed feeling that you get about when you feel helpless to help somebody else kind of thing. It just kind of like dropped. And then what recently has come up is what I think is the dropping away, hasn't dropped, but I feel like it's next, is sort of policing my ego.
Yeah.
Where I think sometimes through spirituality, there comes this kind of filtering that happens around the ego and the discernment, to the point that you almost become paralyzed, and that what organically is coming up through you does not come up, because you're like, should I say that? Should I not say that? You're going through this kind of like exercise with it. And it's scary, because I'm like, just the dropping away of that, I'm like, oh my God, like, what's that going to look like,
Yeah.
And so I feel like, I don't know, I just feel kind of a little bit of fear, I think, because
Oh, I lost you there. The fear scattered the message. Right?
happened,
Fear scattered the.
has built up that whole filtering system where, I'm not afraid to be hurt. So it's like, well, let's just not go there, or let's not say the truth, or let's not do that. So then, you don't have to experience those things. So I think that some of the fear is around that. Yeah.
Hey, listen, let me share something. When you're looking for something to drop, it never does. When you lose interest, you recognize it dropped. Yes?
Yeah.
So in this does the tree make a sound when it falls in the forest? No.
Right.
So your interest in it dropping is reason why it's held up. Yeah. So when you lose interest, and then the fear comes from the system itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good indication you're onto something.
Mm-hmm.
When it instead of calling you the one who has the fear, when the system itself is fearful, it's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's sort of like the skin of the snake that's been masquerading as the whole snake gets to see that it's only the skin. Yeah. And then you see it naked, the emperor with no clothes, and it's fearful, anxious. Yes. Yeah, that's great, honey. You're in good hands. Just let the operation continue. Don't get up. Don't play doctor. It's going to go great.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Seriously. Yeah. It's just like what Ramana said, your head is in the tiger's mouth. You're in a process in a weird way here. You're going to get digested by the tiger, so to speak. So the message is digesting a lot of the shit. Actually, it's going to end up shit also. It's digesting it. And by the time your head is in the tiger's mouth, you're in good hands. So you're ready to face the intestines. Yeah. Now, if I just met the intestines, I may have flipped me out, but I've been in the tiger's mouth for a while. Bring it on. Yeah. So, yeah, honey.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's the loss of interest. You don't give a shit if things drop or not. And then you become aware that they've dropped. Yeah. Yeah. Because, see, when the head focused, it gets myopic. It sort of focuses and seemingly forgets the panoramic view that has a whole lot of shit included in the view, not just you trying to do this. Yes. Yeah. So, but that aperture, you get into the habit of staying in panoramic. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks.
Hey,
Honey,
Paul. It's
Yeah.
time. It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Jeez. Well, it's your time, actually.
Our time.
I could stay here for a while and irritate you and throw the whole schedule into a tizzy, but I won't. I won't.
You can say goodbye if you want.
I will. Thank you, Saina. Thank you for all the help. Yes, thank you, and also Rhoda for informing me about my commitment in such a nice way. Stuart, nice to see you again, my friend. I hope you get a little relief from the hay fever. Bill Churchman, there he is. Yes. I don't know. I think he may be that chair he's always in. I haven't seen his legs or his lower extremities. Maybe he's actually growing out of the chair. Oh, there. All right, there it is. Thanks for that evidence. We got Angie. Always a pleasure, Angie. Yeah, yeah. Beverly, nice report, Bev. Yeah. Something has a plan for you. We've got Anish. Always a pleasure to see Anish. Yes. Anish made my whole day that day by him coming to hear the message. Thank you. Yeah. Zoe. Always a pleasure to see Zoe.
So good to see you. I gotta run.
All right. Take it easy, honey. See you soon. Yeah. Say hello to your. Oh, there's Kelly. The dynamic twosome. There it is. Nice to see Kelly. We got William L. Nice to see you again, William. Yeah. We got donate here. Never says anything. Donate here. Doesn't really donate much to the meeting, does it? No. Yeah. We got Sue, my latte lady. Always a pleasure. Ann B. I think no, there's more folk. No, I think we got Mia. Whoever else is there. Hey, a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this time. Appreciate it. Go to Zen Bitch Slap if you're interested to know when the stuff we're doing, and under the event page, and it's pretty much at the present day. That's what we're doing right now for a while. All right. See ya. Bye.